Before coming to Gurudev, I was 12 years in ISKCON temple, Bangalore. So, 89 I joined ISKCON temple. I was there 12 years. Then when the ISKCON Bangalore temple, it's become Rutvik, 98. So then, because the present, whatever the Guru they accepted, they rejected, they accepted Prabhupada as, Mahabhagavata, pure devotee, only we should accept Prabhupada and others are not qualified to take us to back to Godhead. So then I was actually in the Bangalore temple, I was a pujari, sometimes cooking and sometimes preaching. So I was praying to the Lord. Now whatever we accepted Guru, okay, we rejected. We accepted Prabhupada as our Guru. When we took Diksha from Prabhupada through the cassette. They play the cassette, the Prabhupada is giving mantra. So that also, I got that also. So then, but still, reading Prabhupada books and Chaitanya Charitamrita and many other Prabhupada books, So even before coming to ISKCON also 4 years I was practicing in the house. Then when we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, especially Raya Ramananda Samvat, I was reading. So there what is our sadhya and sadhan, it's mentioned. So I was thinking our goal is to become maid servant of Srimati Radharani. But how it is possible? We have to associate with pure devotees. Only by their mercy it's possible to get this one. So I was praying to the Lord because I was pujari. So I'm praying to the Lord and I want another like Mahabhagavata. Prabhupada is there, okay. Prabhupada book is there, Prabhupada is there. But I never met Prabhupada directly. No. If somebody is hearing Prabhupada cassette, praying to him, sometimes he may give darshan in the dream. That is possible. Many devotees, just by reading Prabhupada books, they become devotees, full-time devotees. Like I also become like that. Just reading Prabhupada books, I came. So, after 1 year, I was praying to the Lord. Then I got about the information about to Gurudev. Actually, I got information in our Rutvik temple itself, who is against to all these things. He only is telling Madhu Pandit Prabhu, who is the president. He told, this ISKCON, all JBCs they are sleeping, and this Narayana Maharaja, he was sweeping all his devotees and all are going to him. Then I asked a question. There was a brahmachari meeting with Madhu Pandit Prabhu. Every weekly we meet with him. So he told about this one. All brahmacharis are sitting like 60 devotees. So we asked some question. Who is this Narayana? He said he is very powerful Acharya, he is so qualified, and the Prabhupada, many of the Prabhupada senior disciples not able to stand in front of him. So this went in my mind. So he is so qualified, none of these GBCs can stand there. So that means, and it went in my heart, okay, I should see him. But they were telling that, this is Rutvik, Prabhupada is only Mahabhagavata, no other is present. So I was praying to the Lord. Then in the 99 Radhashtami, we are singing some Radhika Ashtaka and other things. One of the devotees, Gurudev's disciple, Purushottam Brahma, Dr. Purushottam Brahma, he was chanting some reading books and other things. So after the class, he was walking in there. So I asked him, what are you reading? He said, I am reading Manasiksha. First time I am hearing Manasiksha. I never know what is Manasiksha. And I asked, who has written this? This one, Raghunath Goswami. It's very nice to do this one. And then I asked him, but our goal is to go back to Godhead, serve Radha Krishna. But we need a pure devotees. But I was telling, because I am Rutvik, I said, Prabhupada is only Mahabhagavata, pure devotees. He said, no, if there is still the Mahabhagavata pure devotee is present in this material world, if you pray to Krishna, definitely you will get it. I said, who is present? He said, Narayana Maharaja. So I said, oh, I heard about him. So then he said, then he told about, oh, he's very nice. He was giving class and I go to the Kartik festival, every day different Ashtakam, like Radha Kripa Katakstavara, this one, and Nandanandan Ashtakam. Many other Ashtakam he told. And also he told me to read this one, Manasiksha. So after that, and Jaiva Dharma, and Brahad Bhagavatam, like this. So I was always thinking, he told about 2-3 days about glories of Gurudev. So I wanted to leave, that time I wanted to leave immediately and come to Gurudev. But he said, you are living like a palace in ISKCON. If you come to Gaudiya Math now, it's like it's very, they are living, this one is very simple. First you should go and visit. So I left ISKCON and near Dauji, one Radha Krishna temple I was serving 1 month. Actually I came to there to meet Gurudev, but directly how I will go? Kesoji Gaudiya Math. I don't know anybody. So then finally I was thinking how I will see Gurudev. I was thinking. Suddenly Krishna's arrangement, Kesoji Gaudiya Math, from Kesoji Gaudiya Math, 3 devotees came to that which temple I was worshipping Radha Krishna. That temple, Gurudev also took the parikram parties there, Kartik Mas, 2-3 times. So then the devotees came, Kalachandra Prabhu, he is not there now, Gurudev is God brother. Then Amitananda Prabhu, then one more devotee. They were doing very nice kirtan and everything. I was not following Chaturmasya. I don't know, because ISKCON Chaturmasya is very simple. They said this lauki, tomato, this one we don't take it. So whatever they want, I brought the items and they were cooking and I was cleaning and doing puja and everything. Kalachandra Prabhu gave class, very nice class, 3 days. 3 days I got satsanga from Gaudiya Math. But I was very happy. Then after some time, Tirtha Maharaj brought 20 devotees, same place. A very nice program. And I told Tirtha Maharaj, I want to come and join Gaudiya Math. No, you are here very nicely, you are doing puja, Radha Krishna. You can come sometimes, but we are not telling you leave this one and come full time into this one, he said. Anyway, he said. So then when I came to Kesoji Gaudiya Math, 2001, then Gurudev went for walking. So I was asking some devotees, I want to meet Gurudev, how is darshan? He said early morning he is going to walk, as soon as he is coming, or you go with him for walking, or as soon as he is coming you wait in near the door and you can have his darshan. So I was chanting in ground floor, then Kesoji Gaudiya Math. Gurudev and Rajanath Prabhu and some other devotees that came. Immediately offer Dandavata. Gurudev saw me like this, because I had some nice border dhotis and shaved my head, in ISKCON, So Gurudev, he said, hey, you are from ISKCON, he said. I said, yes. From where you came? He said, I am from Bangalore. And Gurudev heard about it. You are from Rutvik temple, he said. I said, yes. How did you escape, he said. So I said, by your mercy, somehow I escaped, I said. I came here. He said, I am very happy. You are very fortunate, he said. Because not only in ISKCON, and you are in Rutvik ISKCON. And from there to escape and come here, it's very difficult. Only by the arrangement of Krishna's arrangement, you came here, he said. Then he said, I am very happy you be here, he said. And anytime if you want to come, you can join, he said. So I was there 3 days. 3 days, very nice, Gurudev association. Gurudev told me to read my books. And I asked for Diksha. He said, first you hear my Harikatha, read my books, then you can take it. Not be a hurry about taking Diksha. First you make a sambandha, with relationship. So like that 3 days I heard Harikatha. Then I am supposed to go back to Bangalore.
First time I met Gurudev was with Shamarani. I was in Vrindavan and Shamarani was there with Vrindavan Vilasini and Borijan and Danadhar Maharaj and quite a few people who were regularly going to hear from Srila Narayana Maharaj at the time, and she wanted me to meet him, so she took me down to Rup Sanatan Mandir, and she first of all she asked me if I had any questions, And I said, yes, I'd like to be able to go deeper in my chanting, and how can I do that? So she brought me to see him, and she said, oh, Gurudev, she's very shy, but she wants to ask you how she can become more attentive to her chanting. And Gurudev just looked at me with very powerful eyes, and he said, become like a street beggar. And he said, and take shelter of Rupa and Sanatan, and then everything will come. So I always remember that.
It seemed like I was very close to him from externally, because I was always there. You see me in the background, I think, at least for a certain period of time in his preaching program, tours, especially when he was in India. I would be sitting directly behind him, but like Srila Prabhupada used to say that the fly is sitting on the throne of the king, and the king is also sitting on the throne, but the position is different. So, and he used to, in those days he didn't have one of these chairs, a backrest chair that later it was always there with him, and I guess that wasn't available at that time. So I was sitting behind him, and he used me as his backrest. It seemed like I told that to Padmanabh Maharaj, and he thought, there was one devotee, I think his name is Shankara Pandit, who was because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was living in the Gambhira in Puri, and sometimes due to ecstatic love of Godhead, he would try to go to see Krishna, and he rubbed his head on the wall or the floor, and then the devotees became very upset, so they arranged that this one devotee, his name is, I think, Shankara Pandit, to stay in the room, and he would sleep on, and Mahaprabhu used to sleep on him, and they called him, is it Mahaprabhu's no, not Kashipu, some word that means pillow, I guess. Mahaprabhu's pillow. So Padmanabh Maharaj said that people will call you Gurudev's pillow.
Met Gurudev in 2001. It started, I think I was 18 or 17. I was in college at the time, and I wasn't very spiritual. I had just been in foster care for the last few years, so I was kind of just, from 15 to 18, just kind of on my own in the world. But I was in college and doing college things. And then one day Lola Devi from Canada, she said, oh, there's a sannyasi coming to your father's house. And it was at the time Aranya Maharaj, Prem Prayojan. And I said, oh, okay, whatever. And then she said, I'll come pick you up in the morning. But I had been out with friends all night, and I was in film school, so we'd been filming, doing our school and stuff, and I totally forgot about it. And then she literally knocked on my door and said, okay, we're driving up to Hope, which is a 2.5-hour drive. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I literally just I had no idea where I was going or who was, but and I went there and I saw this young sannyasi, and I was like, oh, whatever. But then they started doing kirtan, and I've always liked bhajans and kirtan, and I really liked the songs and kind of the mood and how they did all this pranam mantra. And I remember opening the songbook, the old Gaudiya Gita Gush, the green one, and I saw a picture of Gurudev, and because I was raised in ISKCON. My father's a Prabhupada disciple, so I never had any kind of, it was always about Srila Prabhupada's a pure devotee, and everyone else was just I didn't have any respect for any sannyasis. Like I never did pranam or anything, so it was only Srila Prabhupada. But I saw Gurudev's picture, and I just sat there and I just kept staring at it, and I was like, I don't know, I couldn't stop looking at it, and I was really attracted to him. It was a really strange feeling, and I felt just by his pranam mantra, saying it was, I don't know, I just felt something in my heart. So I liked the program, it was nice, and when I went home, I had just moved from a foster home into my own apartment. So I had a few ISKCON books there. And then I was thinking in my heart, like I would really like to read some of Srila Narayana Maharaja's books, because I just felt this attraction. And this is a true story. I have no idea how this happened, but on my bookshelf was one of Gurudev's books, going back to Vaikuntha. I just looked, because I was going through it, and and I saw the book, and there was no way I could have gotten it, because I hadn't even heard of him until Lola picked me up. So it's not like anyone had given me a book or anything, but his book was just there in my little room that I had just moved into. I still have no idea how that happened, and I was like, and I started reading it, and it really, for some reason, going back to the Vaikuntha, for some reason, it just, everything, I was shocked, because it was like, I'd never heard anything like that in my life. I don't know, that we have one goal, and like growing up in ISKCON and stuff, you don't, like I didn't know if I was a coward boy or, a rock or a whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just, you go back home, back to God, and figure it out when you're there. But the whole thing, I don't know, it just really touched me. And then I started, when I went to college for the next few weeks, it was my last kind of semester, I kept, during my lunch and recess breaks, I'd go online and look up Gurudev. Like I'd Google him and see him with Maharaja, and I would just stare at him for hours and like read his Harikatha. So yeah, Vishaka Didi and Sudevi and Kishori Mohan actually came to Salt Spring after that. And then of course they doused me with all Gurudev's glories, and I just fell in love immediately. And actually with Prabhuji's glories too, so I was like, woo! But when Gurudev first came to Vancouver, so I was pumped, I was ready. I had like, Aranya Maharaj and Kishori Mohan and Sudevi and Vishaka Didi, so I'd had like all the prep building up. So I felt like it was like Srila Prabhupada was coming, in the airport when I was there to greet him. And yeah, he came in the airport, and I was like, everyone's gonna rush to him, but no one did. Everyone kind of stood back, and I had bought in like the single rows, and I ran up to him like, I guess I never changed in all these years. I was like, I ran up to him with the rose, and I remember his eyes just looking into mine and like giving it to him, and I was just like, it felt like an arrow, just his eyes when they look in your soul. It was like, just like an air. I was like, ugh, just like mesmerized by his eyes. It's crazy. I was like, and he just looked at me and he took it, and then he smiled, and I was like, he kept walking, but I just couldn't stop crying at the airport. It was like this airport, everyone was doing kirtan and stuff, but then I looked around and everybody else was crying too, and I just felt like it was one of the most magical moments. And then he went to the Vedic Culture Center, and he spoke in Hindi. Didn't understand a word he was saying, a little bit, but I didn't care. I was like, and then after he was coming down, Lola, you guys know Lola from Canada. She's like, you have to meet Gurudev. Did you meet him yet? And I'm like, I saw him. She's like, okay. And so she barges through this huge crowd of Indian people who are all touching his feet, just like in India. And he's getting mobbed by this huge crowd of Indian ladies and stuff. And Lola pulls me through this crowd, comes right up to Gurudev, pretty much like pushes me right in front of him. She's like, Gurudev, my name was Preeti at the time. This is Preeti. And in this mosh pit. But it was just me and Gurudev, and he looked at me and he said, are you initiated yet? And I said, no. And then he said, I've been waiting for you. And that was like, he's like, oh, I have been waiting for you. And something about the way he said it and the way he looked in my eyes, I had a total meltdown. And I'm like a tough girl. I don't cry very often. I went in the bathroom and I cried for like an hour and a half. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening to me, but my life's changed. I was like crying and crying. I'm like, something's just happened to me, and everything that I thought I was going to do in my life, like all my material aspirations and everything, I'm like, it's gone. I'm like, something just happened to me and it's out of this world. And yeah, so I ended up, there was Maharaja at the time, and he's like, you got to buy a round the world ticket and hop on the train, you know. And Gurudeva, I think he was in his 80s at the time. He's like, you don't know how long he's going to be here. He could only be here for another 6 months. And I was like terrified. I was like, oh my God, it's true. And then Sudevi and Kishori Mom too, they're like, you don't know how long Gurudeva's going to be here. You got to take initiation. And I'm like, but, and like I wanted to, but I was like, I don't chant rounds. I don't do anything. But I was like, I had this terror that I wasn't going to have enough time with him, you know, and I was so scared. So yeah, I took Harinam in Vancouver, and then by Gurudev's arrangement, my father lent me the money because he was happy. He loved Gurudev too, and he was so happy. I went from this partying college girl to like, I want to go be with Gurudev. He's like, okay, I'll lend you the money. It's all good. Yay! So yeah, I bought a round the world ticket, and then just like so many amazing things happened that we ended up in India, and this is just the beginning of, I guess, 10 years with Gurudev.